बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। आज का नेक्स्ट पार्ट है पाकिस्तान फॉरेन पॉलिसी पार्ट नंबर 2। इसके अंदर हम जहाँ से हमने लोधी सल्तनत का एंड और 1947 तक हमने पढ़ लिया था और इसके आगे चलेंगे आज। तो ये है द सेंट्रल एशिया पीपल हु कम विद द वेव ऑफ माइग्रेशन ओवर द सेंचुरीज मिक्स्ड विद local people and developed a syncretic cultures with Persian as the core language. Immigrant scholars preach the message of Islam and Sufism won across religious following by their exemplary piety, noble conduct and service to humanity. The Muslim ruler did not impose their religion on local inhabitants, nor did they exclude local allies from position in the army and administration. Throughout like others before them, they gave preference to their kin and clansmen. After the British took control, Muslims became suspect and were not only supplanted by loyal non-Muslims but also subjected to surprise, suppression, exclusion, and expropriation. They were further marginalized because of their refusal to reconcile and adjust at the loss of power. Syed Ahmad Khan, a social reformer and political visionary, discerned the dangers confronting his community and embarked on a campaign to awaken and inspire the Muslim people to abandon the boycott at the foreign rulers and to acquire contemporary education. He also founded a school that grew into the Aligarh Muslim. He also founded a school that grew into the Aligarh Muslim University where learned academics, some of them from England, were employed to teach modern subjects and prepare the youth for gainful opportunities in their profession and participation in the expanding political and economic life and institution of the land. As contemporary idea of self-government and nationalism began to stimulate political thought in the latter part of the 19th century, different ethnic and religious communities projected their futures in terms of their interests. The Muslim community, comprising a quarter of the population in British India, awoke to its predicament characterized by economic disparities and social exclusion. The further local belief as the as they faced the prospect of a powerless permanent minority British India. Syed Ahmad Khan argued in 1883 was a continent in itself inhabited by vast population of different races and different creeds, which lacked the community of race and creed that make the English people one the same nation. The idea of nationalhood captured the imagination of the Muslim community as its leaders discerns the looming danger of political dominance across the religious and social fault line. At first, they sought legal and constitutional safeguards to secure and ensure an equitable share in social and political institutions. The rift began to widen after the founding of the Indian National Congress in 1886 with Alan Octavian Hume, a British ex-official as its first Secretary General for 2 decades, dominated by the Hindu elite. The Congress attracted few Muslims as their leaders, advised them to keep aloof from the nominally secular party that sought to supplant the British in position of power and influence. The protect and promote the rights of the Muslim community. Its leaders with modern education and political vision established the Muslim League in 1906. The issue were joined in 1909 when the Congress opposed the proposal of separate electorates that would ensure a representation for Muslims in the government. The two communities also clashed over the British government decision in 1905 to create the new province of East Bengal and Assam, which promised some relief of the Muslim majority from the domination and exploitation by West Bengal. To the consternation of the Muslim League, the Congress successfully pressured the British government to annul the division in 1911. More enduring and insoluble were constitutional issues as the League proposed and Congress opposed safeguards for Muslims. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, a brilliant barrister with impeccable anti-colonial credentials, successfully promoted a compromise package for the future constitution. The package, known as the Lucknow Pact after its approval by both the Congress and the League in 1916, included separate electorates, provincial autonomy, a non-third share for Muslims in the Central Assembly, the safeguards in respect of legislation affecting any of the religion communities. The India Nation Congress, however, went back on its commitment in 1928 when it adopted the Motilal Nehru Report, recommending replacement of separate electorate with a joint electorate and the curtailment of provincial autonomy, thus striking a fatal blow to any prospect of harmonious politics. It's the end of this part, and in short, the next part is coming soon.